record this and I'm posting this up on YouTube.
Okay.
Am I understand that correctly?
Yep.
Okay, so what we spoke about was you're looking for $3 billion of funding in Congos, and I agreed that I'm going to give you the funding.
Yep.
And I agreed that I'm putting in my money up first.
Yeah.
And we're doing banking 101. There's no funny, hey, go give me an SBLC for $500,000. I'm going to make you $1 trillion. No, we're doing banking of, you know what 2004 banking looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Rent a Rich Uncle program. You are in Congo. You've got a bunch of projects in Congo that are infrastructure. And so in Rent a Rich Uncle program, what I do is I put up my money up first with a bank. It's a FDIC insured bank in North America. That bank that you tell me, you're the one who's telling me which bank to put it into, is wiring the money to your bank in Africa. Well, I don't think there is a bank in Congo that has the capacity to even accept a $3 billion anything. So more likely that bank is in Europe.
Yeah.
Or at best South Africa.
We've got one that could do it, but their capacity is just that maximum could be.
No worries.
So.
Right. Okay, cool. So that's that piece of it. I put up $3 billion with, so you have to find a bank that's willing to do the transaction. You understand fully that that bank is the underwriter, register, mortgage lender, broker like that, and I'm not. I'm just a cash guy and I just deposit money in a bank. That's all I do. And I'm putting up my money first.
Yeah.
Cool. So what you do is you have to find a bank that likes your transaction. You present the business plan on two conditions. Condition one, some guy called Taimour Zaman or LanaCredit.ai is walking into the bank and they're putting up their money first. That's a condition first, that when you're looking for a bank, that's the first condition you need to tell them. I'm going to be bringing in money to buy first deposits from you in condition that you look at my 5 favorably. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then condition 2,
score anything like that.
Right. Condition 2 is my depositor. Their money, the first deposit that they're buying, cannot be held as collateral. So if you decide to bail, not pay the bank, whatever, the bank is completely at risk for the decisions that they're making.
Yeah.
The bank will say, okay, if we're going to get $3 billion, we may not want to give you $3 billion. We may want to give you $500,000, $700,000, but we're going to take $3 billion. Then what you know is that LanaCredit is taking 7% on the amount of first deposits that we have to buy.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Okay.
So in North America, which is where I live, and a bank, it's easy to do. This is easy peasy for me to do. And my associates and I have done over 3,000 successful projects, no questions asked, and we've done lots and lots of international projects. In North America, this is easy peasy. Who's the bank? I call your bank. I make sure that our money is not held as collateral and you're going to get funded. I open up an account with them. If I don't have a bank account, which is there are lots of private banks in the United States, I don't have an account with them. So I open up an account. Then they do a KYC on me. Then they give me the paperwork for me to buy first deposits from them. I don't want to do deposit, and that's easy peasy. International banking gets a little bit more exciting because in international banking, you are looking for a bank that you can go to that will do the transaction. In Africa, it's more likely lots and lots of European banks love to fund African projects or South African bank. And you're looking for a bank that has a corresponding bank in North America. That's who you're looking for. So you're not calling any bank. You're looking for banks that have a corresponding bank, and that bank must like your project because they're the one underwriting the deal.
Okay.
Cool. So what I do is, let's say I go to the corresponding bank in North America. I really, truly, I don't put monopoly money up. I don't put, some kind of bank policy as I'm putting up real cash up.
Real cash.
My currency deposits from them. And what they do is they are paying me, let's say, 0.25% interest or something like that. But what they're doing is then they're wiring that $3 billion. For lack of a better word, they're selling the money to your bank, the one who's agreed to do the transaction in Europe or South Africa, wherever that bank is located.
Okay.
And maybe they're putting like 2 points on it. So they're paying me a 0.25 point. So maybe they're selling the money to your bank for 2%. I don't know. I'm just making this up. Your bank now gets truly $3 billion. And then they'll say, hey, Rebecca, we'll give you, 1.5 billion, or we'll give you 500,000, whatever that number is. And that's the risk that they're taking. And the delta, they're keeping the delta for themselves, and they're lending the delta to their customers over and over again with interest. And that delta comes back to them with interest, and they get paid a lot of money. And that's called Rent-to-Rich Uncle program, and it's pretty simple to do. The key factor is you finding the bank that's willing and wants to do a transaction with you. Now, having said that, let me tell you two versions of how this works and doesn't work. Imagine I'm a taxi cab driver. Imagine that. And I go to a bank and I say, I'm going to start a company. Some guy is going to give me $3 billion. Can you give me most of it? And I want to start a company that competes with Facebook. And I'm a taxi cab driver. Right? More likely, any bank that I know of will tell you to lose their phone number. Okay, good. Now, alternatively, let's say I have done 500, 600, 700 million projects, infrastructure projects. I've done maybe 14, 15, 18 of them. And I have a resume that proves I can deliver, and this is a great project. Now the banker will be very interested in not necessarily investing money with your project, but getting my $3 billion.
Of course.
Because they know there's no risk factor for you like that. So could you see the comparison between a taxi cab driver who wants to compete with Facebook and has never done this before, compared to a guy who's done this multiple times? Okay, cool. So that's the Rent-to-Rich Uncle program, and that's how it works. Okay,
what's the minimum on this? Say, what's the minimum you would buy, say, courtesy deposit?
So for this to be worth your time, not my time, your time, you should be asking for $500,000 or more.
500,000
or more
in courtesy deposit?
No, an amount of cash you're looking for.
Okay,
And then your bank will tell you how much courtesy deposits Taimour have to buy.
Okay,
So let me give you an example. Let me give you a comparison. Let's say you go to a bank and you say, I want to start a social media agency. There's 10 million social media agencies every day. And there's 10 million that's being added every other day. I don't know the difference between this guy versus that guy. You know what I mean? If you went and you said, I'm going to start a social media agency, and line of credit's going to put up some money to buy credit deposits from you, they may say, okay, how much money do you want? You may say $500,000. They'll say, okay, let's get line of credit to buy $2 million of credit deposits from us, because now we get $2 million cash. You will risk $500,000 on you, no problem. You see the difference? Now, alternatively, you can go and say, hey, listen, I'm buying real estate properties that have tenants in it, and the tenants are paying rent for the past 10 years, and we've never had a default. And I'm buying 500 of these properties, and here's the receipts, like all that stuff. The risk to the bank is very less. So now they're not going to say, get line of credit to put up $3 million to buy $3 million of first deposits. They'll say, well, how much money you want? $500,000? No problem. We'll give you the $500,000 because we just like the project. And if you want to sweeten the deal, close the transaction, get line of credit to buy $100,000 of purchase deposits.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the point of the story is the more secure, the better the project is, the more likely the bank will want to do it.
Yeah.
And my money becomes the fuel. My money becomes, okay, we can now take $3 billion or $2 billion from a company called LionCredit.ai.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a fortune on this deal.
Of course.
Do you see the difference? Okay.
I see that. Yeah.
So that's how Rent a Rich Uncle program works internationally and funding projects in places like Congos. Now this year we've done a few of these projects in Trinidad, Mexico. So we've done international projects. To be truthful, I've never done Rent a Rich Uncle in Congos. I do know, I can tell you from over 3,000 successful transactions that we've done. All I can tell you is that there are lots and lots of banks in Europe that love to fund African projects. Yeah. But every banker is different and every project's different. So I don't have a go call John Smith kind of thing. It's you gotta hustle to find a bank. Okay, good. So now I want to tell you about I want to tell you about two more. Do you want to continue with this topic, or do you want?
That's okay. That's all I have.
Do you want me to give you alternate funding projects?
Oh, of course. Let's go for all the options that you've got.
Well, I only have three. We don't do 3,000. We don't do 3,000 fancy anything. We are world class on three. We have an unfair competitive advantage on three, and so we just do these three.
I worked with one Canadian institution as well. So we were looking for 250,000. Then they asked for a 50,000 deposit to receive that 250. Does that sound
okay? Fair? Okay, yeah. So, and did you have success with them?
Yeah, it took a bit longer. It took longer than the 30 to 35 days, but I think there was probably a few issues. But we got 150, and we reinvested 100K.
Okay, cool. So we have a similar program to that, and that one is called Rent a Rich Banker. Okay. And the reason I say is similar to that. Now, in this case, not we as in me, but one of the registered dealer brokers in the United States that we work with, we work with a few of them. Registered dealer broker becomes a bank.
Okay.
So in Rent a Rich Banker, what happens is that you give us your business plan, your KYC, your 70,000 documents, prove to me this is a real project. In Congos, prove to me what the mailing address is, prove to me the valuation. Like it's truly like that. A registered dealer broker looks at it, and they will say they will lend you as a registered loan, just like the first one. It's a registered loan. They'll go up to like $6 million.
Okay. Yeah.
And they do it in 120 banking days or less, like that. Now they take a $550,000 deposit from you. The deposit goes to a law firm, and if you change your mind in the 120 banking days, they will refund your $500,000. And like if you change your mind, they refund your $550,000 on the 120th day. The law firm gives you back the $550,000, no question. Now, the $6 million or whatever amount of money they decide to give you, that money is usually like a 0.25%. It's at a rate that, generally speaking, no bank touches. And they do terms that are like 20 years or like that no bank touches. And it's through a registered dealer in the United States. So you can look at their broker license, you can do a background check on the registered dealer broker, have they had any litigations against them. pending lawsuits like that, so you can feel good about these people are truly real. Right? It's a registered dealer broker.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
And if you're interested in that, I can introduce you to like people look at your file. It makes no difference which one I introduce you to, and they'll get on a phone, and they're just like a bank. So in this case, compared to rent a rich uncle, where you have to bring the bank to me, and rent a rich banker, I'm bringing the bank to you. That's the difference. And then in rent a rich uncle program, in rent a rich uncle, I can go up to 3 billion without any questions asked. In renting a rich banker, this doesn't go up to 3 billion. If you want them to give you 3 billion, that $550,000 deposit you're giving has to be like maybe $300 million.
Okay.
That you have to put it down as a deposit, and then they will give you 3 billion. But generally speaking, they ask for $550,000, and they'll give you $5, $6, $7 million. Like that is what they would do. But every registered dealer broker, how they underwrite is different, one from the other.
Okay. So it's about 10% of what the down payments will be, about 10%, the deposit.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, and 6 million is the minimum or the maximum they go for?
It's that's a conversation between you and them. I know I have seen stuff that are north of $15 million from them. They close very quickly.
Okay.
Like if you had a call with them tomorrow, tomorrow's Friday. By Tuesday, you have a term sheet that's real.
Wow. Okay.
Like that, and the minute you sign, you have to deposit $550,000 into the law firm's escrow account, and then 120 banking days after, you've got your 5 million, 3 million, to whatever the numbers that they agree to give.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, cool. So I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's not about funding.
Okay.
Okay, is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
So my career in this area of investing started 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I started to invest in real estate, and then I started to invest in real estate in US, in Belize, and places like that. And legally, technically, I'm an international investor.
Okay.
The challenge for me was not every one of my investments did I lost money on a lot of them. And in some of them, I could only recoup a portion of the money that I put out.
Wow.
So I was looking for, when people are dealing with me, how can I have an unfair competitive advantage? And if you check out our website, landcredit.ai, we only do 3 things. We don't do 3,000 things, but in all those 3 things, I'm always looking for how can we be truly a world-class leader and have an unfair competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So I want to introduce you to a concept that you can copy, steal, borrow from me. And I welcome you to copy it, borrow it, steal it from me. And I think in your career, it will help you a lot. And on the first 1 or 2 transactions, if you don't have your wheelhouse, like if you haven't put on your wheelhouse, I'm more than happy to allow you to rent my wheelhouse until you get set up. That's okay.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go for it. Thank
you.
you.
Good. Thank you. So the concept I'm going to introduce you to is a concept called custodian banks.
Okay.
And this is something you can Google for yourself and research.
Yeah.
I don't want to say in every country. In Congo's, there's no custodian bank. In the United States, for instance, Wells Fargo is massively big into custodian services. For our firm, we use Barclays in London.
Okay.
So custodian is somebody who's a guardian, who's a holder of something.
Okay.
That's what the word custodian means. Yeah. Custodian bank is somebody who holds something for you.
Okay.
And you pay money for this, by the way. If you ever want to go to a bank and use their custodian services, you're paying money for it upfront. So what I did is within linecredit.ai, with our partners, we have a $3 billion custodian bank account with Barclays.
Okay.
So what that means is that depositors can deposit money directly with Barclays.
Right.
That deposit is secured against a bond. The contract is between the depositor and Barclays, not with Taimour Zaman.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, here's the deal with Barclays. The deal that I have with them is I can borrow 100% of the money that my depositors deposit in their custodian account.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense? So in my previous life, if I was trying to raise money for project financing, I may call you and say, hey, Rebecca, how are you? How you been? How's the family? Do you trust me? Do you like me? I have this project. I need some funding. Can you loan me or invest money with me for, let's say, $250,000?
Yeah.
But whether you like it or not, you're taking a risk on the project.
Yep.
You're taking a risk on me and my integrity and the economic environment I'm in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Those are all the risks that you have to, end of the day, bear for yourself and see if you want to take it or not. Now, what I'm about to tell you is the truth. Every litigation court on the planet you go to, a portion of those litigations is because somebody took a bet on somebody else and didn't pay out. And it's billions and trillions of dollars that is in court and litigation because projects like this, the day one, it looked good, smelled good, felt good, you know, whatever 10 years after, nothing got paid out.
Yeah.
Cool. So with a custodian account, what I've done is I've gone to Barclays and I said, hey, Barclays, I need project financing for me and some of my friends and family. And what I want to do is open up a custodian account. What that means is that my people can deposit money in the Barclays custodian account. And I withdraw 100% of that money as a loan from you at Barclays.
Right, okay.
So imagine if you want to go and copy this concept, steal this concept, because I want to invite you, if I may, to train you to do that, to have that mindset of doing it.
Yes.
I don't want to say you can make money from thin air. There's 5 other things you need to do so you can make money out of thin air. But the custodian account is a utility that allows you to create a safekeeping for your depositors and your investors.
Okay.
So when they deposit money, let's say in Barclays, 1 year after the day of the deposit, Barclays returns 100% of the money back to the depositor, plus, keyword is plus, the coupon rate of the bond. Because remember, they're depositing this money in a Barclays account, and that money is held against a bond.
Yeah.
So if Rebecca, if you were a crook and your project in Congos was a bad project, the worst scenario for your depositors, are you ready for this? They get 100% of their money back, plus the coupon rate of the bond. That's the worst scenario. That's the worst scenario. Best scenario is what if? Rebecca, are you a crook? Really, are you a crook?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Is your project in Congo a good project that just provide a return on investment? Okay. So best scenario is it actually pays out and they actually get whatever returns you promised them to get.
Wow.
Does that make a difference?
Huge.
For sure, right? Listen, let me tell you, now if I want to raise money for my friends and family or whatever else,
that's what you do.
There's 2 contracts again. Contract 1 is between me and them and says, hey, if you want to put up $10 million or $10 billion with me in my project through the utility vehicles I've created for you, no problem. I'll give you 10-12% return on investment after I borrowed the money from Barclays.
Mm-hmm.
I borrowed the money from Barclays. I didn't take the money from the depositor.
Mm-hmm.
Contract 2 is between Barclays and the depositor.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what it says? You deposit money in your own name, not in Taimour Zaman's name, in your own account in Barclays against this bond.
Right.
That's contract 2.
Yeah.
Contract 1, the one that I have, is only executable after they deposit money in Barclays. So if they don't deposit money in Barclays, I don't owe them anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I am a crook, and if I'm investing in a bad project or whatever else, the depositor, or 1 year after the deposit, they get 100% of their money back, plus the coupon rate of the bond in Barclays. So now that I told you the story, I need to train you on the concept.
Yeah.
So the concept is you want to look for a custodian bank.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing how driven you are, if I may say that way, you're a very driven individual. I promise you, a year from now, knowing you, next time you and I talk, you probably have 15 of these custodian accounts worldwide.
Wow. Now just my mind is just like way too blown away. I need to calm down and then focus.
So then, Rebecca, so what you do is you now go to the custodian bank. You have to set this up at the beginning. You can't do it middle of your project.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell the banker, hey, I'm looking for custodian services. They'll give you the terms and conditions and that. And then you have to come up to an agreement with the banker on day 1.
Okay.
And the agreement would be, hey, I'm trying to raise $6 billion or $60 billion, something like that.
Yeah.
And I need you, Mr. Banker, to provide some collateral security to the depositor.
Mm-hmm.
And now what do I need to do so that when deposits comes to you, I can borrow a portion or all of that money back?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a negotiation you need to make with your bank.
Okay.
And you set that up. Once that's set up, let me tell you, money flows a lot more easier to you compared to your competitors, if I can say that way.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a security, safety you have set up for the deposit.
That bond. Yeah.
Listen, I see a lot of scam out of Africa. I see a lot of scam in Hong Kong, in India, and I see a lot of scam in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm training you and teaching you is banking 101, and there's no hunky funky SBLC, give me $500,000, I wire you $10 trillion. Like, this is like banking 101.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm giving you utilities that are proven concepts that you can leverage, and once you start to put them together, no investor or institutional investor will ever be scared from working with you, because these are all legitimate things, and it's a very smart way of designing and putting it together.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. It does. So I was just thinking of just with that government project, because they don't have, if they've got some cash, say they said they might put 20 million to start with for a project.
Right.
Would we then would they allow that for governments? That's, I don't know. So if it was a private project, it would probably be easier. But that's again a conversation I'll have with them. Then we can have people put the money towards that project on a custodian account.
Right.
And they are secured, but they are also past the project, will earn money from the project, but also they'll get their money back a year and 1 day. Plus.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
This is gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to continue this conversation? Like, I don't want to overwhelm you with 5
I could be here for hours. If you still have those fun, let's go for it.
I can continue giving you more strategies, or we can go deeper into one of the topics that you can execute on.
Yeah, I think I've got the rent to reach uncle. I've looked into that quite a lot, so this is good. And the rent to reach banker, that's going to work, because I think because we had a good experience with money coming from Canada, people now actually start to trust us, and we've got a lot of. Yeah, I've got one from Ivory Coast. They want 22 million euros. It's just giving them the right model to use, and
Sure.
So you either be the rent-a-rich uncle,
Yeah.
which is up to that. Well, that's I think that's going to be that, because the rent-a-rich banker, that's a lot less. That's what might go a bit more, but we'll start with the rent-a-rich uncle.
Sure.
I just
No
need to
problem.
find a bank that will work. Ivory Coast
Awesome.
bank. Is Citibank?
You got cut off. But you've been kind enough to spend some time with me today, reviewing some of your client files.
Thank you.
Can you tell my audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what did you get out of our time together?
Yes, my name is Debola and I'm based in the UK. I've been working as a funding solution for clients looking for business funding for projects for my clients. And I met Mr.
And these are big
Zaman.
projects.
Pardon?
And these are big projects.
Yes, they're big projects in the million all over the world, from UK to Africa. So I met Mr. Zaman over on the internet while I was searching for more genuine brokers. And I was fortunate to get a meeting with him, which I'm on at the moment. And I've learned a wealth of knowledge. In my last 1 year, I've not had this knowledge of information. And I am more than excited to be on this call with him. I've learned about 2 items I've learned about. I don't know if I should disclose it. Custodian and the hybrid PPI. Those 2, they've blown me out of the waters. And I'm just thinking, am I going to be able to sleep tonight, thinking of what I'm going to do with those information. It has been amazing. I've learned a tremendous lot.
And you made
in the last 45 minutes.
and you promised you're going to become a millionaire working with our organization. Yes. And join the Millionaire Club.
I'm going to be one of the millionaires. It's settled.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Abla.
Wonderful. Thank you.